Hi, good evening. I'm 62 years old, and luckily my hair is all black. It's difficult to find gray hair, and it's all real. I've never done any coloring, okay? And I've been in this field for the last 39 years. Okay, I started everything in 1983 in Switzerland and Germany with one table, two chairs with my wife for 42 years. 42 years, that means my wife is not young too. She's also 62, but she looks much younger than me, okay? One of these days she had to come in. She has 4 PhDs, and we are both together for the last 39 years in the field of stem cell research. So when we brought stem cells in the 80s to Asia, no one was doing stem cells. The first stem cell conference in Singapore was in 2006. We attracted more than 100 people. A lot of doctors, even in Singapore, have to come. And the surprising thing about it is the first stem cell conference in Asia. That means we also have 20 Australian doctors, 10 New Zealander doctors, and doctors from all over the world, okay, from 20 over countries. And after that, because due to the good response we have in Malaysia. Now, those was 2006. And we introduced the first medical textbook on stem cells for doctors. The funny part is every doctors have to pay 2,000 US dollars. So every doctor is very unhappy with us. And they are asking around, who is this Mike Chan? I never heard of him before. He came from Switzerland and back, and he say every doctors have to pay. If they bring their wife, who is a nurse or the doctor, they also have to pay another $2,000. And the worst part is hotel is not included. Okay. So everyone is very unhappy, but still they sign up and pay the $2,000 because they are very keen to know more about cell therapy, stem cell therapy. And at that time, we also introduced RNA therapy from Germany, you know. So they attended the 3-day lectures. To get the certification, they still have to go through a simple examination of the 3 days. So the doctor say, we don't have time for that. What the hell are you trying to do? Okay, but everyone wants the certificate from Switzerland and Germany. It comes from the world first stem cells association called the International Association of Stem Cell Transplantation, the first in the world. It also came from the Cell Therapy Association of Switzerland. So we are the founders in the old days, okay? So the good part is that at the end of the 3 days lecture, we give them back the $2,000 worth of books, tons of books, all given to them, because we use the money to buy the book and give it to every one of them free of charge. So that creates a lot of good value, and that's how we build the market in Singapore for stem cells. And a lot of Singaporean doctors went to Switzerland and Germany in those days to learn more, and they did introduce, but Singapore has a different rules after that in the later part, okay? So a number of them, Singapore is pro-US, so for that matters, a number of Singaporeans have to go to other parts of the world. That includes Malaysia, okay? I continue my journey in education. My first love is education with my wife. And we went across to maybe more than 80 countries. I just came from Athens. For the last 7 months, I have been on a world trip 7 times, all single trip around the world. Single. That means it's 10 to 14 countries across a time of 14 to 18 days. I've been doing that since during the COVID, traveling around, because during COVID, we had 26 hospitals and wellness centers around the world. Today, we have 46. We just built a hospital in Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh, of 12-story high, only on wellness. I only do on wellness. I don't do other business, okay? So we have a German hospital of 100 years old. Of course, I'm not 100 years, but I inquired in 2017. Okay, it's called Villa Medica. Of course, we have it in Santorini too now. We have a medical center in Athens. You'll be surprised there's a number of other people who came over for revitalization and age reversal. Age reversal means we're going to reverse your biological age. You are as young as your brain and your other 77 organs. Please understand, you're born with 37.2 trillions of life cells. Cells are always life. To be alive means you must have water, oxygen, and nutrients. And with the 37.2 trillions of life cells, there are a lot of stem cells. There's one stem cells over 10,000 life cells when you're born. All of you sitting down here, being alive, have stem cells. Otherwise, you won't be alive. Okay, you need stem cells to be alive. The reason for mortality is only 2 reasons. One is you must have stem cells. Number two, you must have immune cells in your body. Okay, but the problem is mortality set in at such a fast rate that your stem cells by the age of 18 is only 45% left. 18, 1-8. By the age of 30, you only have 25% left. Scary. Okay, by the age of 60, you only have 5% left. We are talking about biological age, huh? Okay, and most of us, biological age are older than the chronological age. Please also understand that. Okay, so when we look at the person, we look at the biological age, means the age of all your organs add up. You have 78 organs. Now, today's technology, we can measure the protein age of your cells. You are as young as your organ, and your organs depends on the cells and the stem cells. Okay, so when we look at a person, we will always look at the biological age first. So when I'm telling you I'm 62, I measure myself, I found out that I'm so lucky I have a biological age of 48. So it's good. So again, we are always challenged in the physician world because we are in lectures all the time. And I'm in most of the anti-aging conference of the world. You can Google internet, Google my name, you can check there's a lot of lectures around. So how are you going to prove you actually reverse the aging? That has to be done with comparative figures of before and after pathological or blood test report of the profile of all your organs. Okay, let's say you did something and three months later you do a comparison. End of the 3 months or at the beginning of the 4th month, you do a comparison. And that's what we do. But at the same time today, you can do a glycan test from UK and check your protein age. They will show your biological age. So this is what we do. Okay, and being a formulator in the old days for La Prairie Cosmetics, okay, some of you may have heard of La Prairie in the old days. We have been formulating a lot of products all made in Switzerland because we specialize in making skincare, cosmetic, supplements, or even therapeutics or injectables in Switzerland and Germany. We own a biopharmaceutical plant of 40 years in Germany, which manufacture all the injectables for physician use only. Okay, so we have another market where we do this. But my love for supplements starts in the early 80s because we introduce a lot of things in the field of nutrition. We believe nutrition is very important for all of you here. If everyone is going to tell me, or any one of you say, oh, I have all the nutrition in the world, I'm totally healthy after 50, I don't need any supplements. I do not believe in that. Today, in a challenging world, stress is a big factor. Stress is a disease for cancer. That means cancer comes from stress because stress will make a hormonal change in your body. You all are born with cancer cells, even as a baby. Okay, but the immune system control it very well because the thymus gland, which is here, born bigger than your heart, your heart is very big, you know, it's even bigger than your heart. Okay, it's producing all the T cells, we call the immune cells. By the age of 65, there is no production of T cells. That explains why mortality set in. Okay? That explains why. So there's only 2 reasons why we are born to die. But we are living longer every century or every decades. Okay? Average life is 74 and 78, men and women. But again, we are moving further. Someone asked me, Mike, you're in the field of anti-aging and being a chairman of the only regenerative medicine in Japan, being non-Japanese and being a scientific committee head in Europe with the society and being one of the associate professor in America, being the non-American, my answer is you can still live to 120 and beyond. But you have to do the repair to all the organs which is aging. That means you must do some replacements of cells and stimulation of some cells. We can always repair the dying cells. This is another part lah. When we one day will talk about the stem cells part, okay? So that is my specialty apart from the nutrition. I love what I'm doing very much. I enjoy treating the untreatable. I always use the word untreatable, okay? I do not want to use the word incurable. Again, in the supplements world, I'll always say, do not mention anything of a cure. Supplements are not meant to cure. Supplements are meant to enhance and improve. Okay, I have written 43 medical and scientific books in UK and done 90 over publication in UK, in stem cells and journals in UK and USA. And this is one of the books we wrote on cell membrane, okay? Talking about, in simple form, the fatty deposit in your vessels and arteries where we have to clear it out. And this is what Celeva is all about, okay? And this therapy has been in Germany and Switzerland for the last 50 years. It wasn't new, okay? Even from my master, we have been learning it in Switzerland and Germany. In our hospital, we've been doing that. I'm the ex-owner of Paracelsus Clinic, Luschmiller, one of the top wellness center in the world and one of the biggest in the world. I sold it to the Chinese government in 2017, okay, at 6 times the price. Okay, it was a good offer. I went on and acquired another 6 hospitals all over the world. So what happened is that when we introduced this world, we talked about something good here. This book came in 8 languages. So this is where Celeva is based on in this book, okay? So when one day I managed to speak to Mrs. Low, she was telling me she's a bit tired, she has cholesterol problem. I just sent her some supplement to test. And she tested and sent to some of the people to try, you know, in 2021. And it seemed the result is working for her. And then she said, Mike, I want to do this and bring it to Complement Cellogen. I say it's a good idea, okay? From a form of infusion where we are going by IV. Of course, in Singapore, you can't do IV, okay? And we have to think of solution, okay? So we create them into soft gel form. Soft gel form is where you have with Celeva now. And the good part is that the book in 8 languages is also a top seller, the supplements in Japan. It's approved in Japan, both the injectable and the supplement form. Okay, here we're only talking about the supplement form. So this is one of the books published in Japan. Now, I spent 4 years training Japanese doctors, thousands of them, on Zoom on a Sunday morning of 7 a.m. It's 8 a.m. in Japan. That's the only time they are free. For 4 hours, and after the training of 4 hours, they will grill you for another 4 hours of Q&A. So it's tiring, you know? And imagine that it's only my family day. After that, I still have to go with my family out. Saturday, Sunday is my family day. It's very important. I have 3 sons. My elder one is 28, youngest is 23. Okay. So the good part is that the Japanese, they don't trust you at all. Not even one Japanese doctor trusts you. It's only after the end of the 4th year, everyone trusts you. Today, we have been treating a lot of Japanese doctors who come to even Kota Kinabalu. We have a wellness center approved by the Malaysian government as a training center for biological and regenerative medicines. And they also send some of the patients where they cannot handle, okay? So the good part is that these are some of the books we have written all over the world. More books are coming in. By end of this year, we should be having 50 books. We have done 4 books on diabetes, 2 books on cardiology, and there's so many other books for that matter. So you can talk about any diseases. We have treated thousands of Down syndrome children in the Middle East, and I've done a lot for autistic children because I myself could be an autistic child when young. I'm born in 1961. In the 60s, no one talked about autism. But my mother had a nickname for me, and he called me Dumbo. Dumbo means I don't speak lah. She thought I was dumb because I never speak and answer until I was 6 years old. When I start to go to school, I have a hard time for many years even to pronounce certain words. So it was very difficult for me as a child. Okay, I hide in the dark. There's also another thing where I don't focus into everything. I can multi-focus. Okay, so please understand, those days there's no autism. I grew up a very painful way, and that is something I want to do for all the children in autism. And today that's what I did. I wrote 2 medical textbooks on autism, and I continue to be doing it for many parts of the world. I do not treat children for money. That means I don't make money treating children. I'm probably losing money, even for Down syndrome or cerebral palsy or even global development delay children. That is something me and my wife like to do. We also wrote the first medical textbook for animals, dogs, cats, horses, birds. We treat a lot of dogs in US. I work with Florida Vet Hospital. They send a lot of dogs to me, and there's a lot of breeders who want to breed the champion dogs, and big dogs will not live past 11 years old. We make them live out more and make them more fertile and breed. Okay, that is what I did. We have 8 publications. My latest years was spent from MIT. I worked very closely with Heidelberg University and funded multi-million projects. Funded from, we don't owe the bank a single money, but everything comes from the profits we make. I only have a salary. I don't have dividend all my life. So whatever profits went back to research, and today we are still continuing the research. I feel proud to help any children. I feel proud to help every animal. I'm a very staunch Buddhist, but I marry a very staunch, a staunch Buddhist. I marry a very staunch Roman Catholic. So we have a big indifferences when you come to religion. You know, she say every Sunday go to school. Go to church. Sorry, not school. And I say, hey, Qingbing, you know, have to pay ancestors. He say, sorry, I don't hold your stake. So to compromise means we have to compromise. In life, we have to compromise. Everything has to be compromised. So for that, I negotiate with my wife and say, okay, I will be baptized. I will go to the church. Okay, I agree to all the children. But on Qingming, you must pray to my ancestor. That's all I ask for. Okay, because you say I cannot even put the thing in the house, you know, the urn or whatever, you know, my mother said you must put. So I do not want argument on that. So I always think in life there's a solution for everything. And again, in medicine and healthcare, there is a solution for everything. Okay, that's how I look at it. So coming back to this cell membrane, or we call it plaques, we did a publication in UK. They was done in UK. You know, I'm one of the rest, all my doctors who work under me and my researchers. It was published out, and then we came out with an improved formula, and that was Celeva. Okay, today is 90 publication. We are moving very fast. Every week we release a publication. We are 30 immunologists in Sabah. I'm a KL boy, but married a Sabahan. I have 400 staff in Sabah. You'll be surprised. We have 10 European doctors trained in Switzerland and Germany. They are expert in their own field. It can be hepatologists or cardiologists or psychiatrists. They have their own fields. We have a few hundred doctors under employment because we told you we are having 46 clinics now. Okay. So we learn from everyone. We have won a lot of innovations, 3 times in Switzerland, 1 in Paris and in the Middle East. Innovation. That means we have to come up with some inventions. And we did a lot of inventions in the old days. We continue to do. Okay. Again, when we come to organs, your heart is very important. To many, we say it's the most important organ. But I always say your brain is very important. More important. Without the brain, you can have all money in the world, but if your brain is not doing a good function, nothing works because everything is controlled by the brain. Okay? And with the heart, your heart start to age from 40. Start to age at 40. By the age of 70, your heart is half the function of a 30-year-old. So that also tells you you have to take good care of your heart. And again, to have stamina, you must have a good heart. Okay? Your heart must be strong. But again, stamina depends on your lungs. Your lungs start to age at 20. Scary, 20. What the heck is this? You know, stamina, heart 40 and lungs 20. So can you improve on that? Yes. I can always give the stem cells of the heart and the lungs if I have to. And we do have them in oral form for your information. That is later we can deal with Avita on that. Now, coming back to the heart, this is the heart of a normal person, normally 30 and 50. You'll notice on the one on the 50 is more yellowish. Okay, that means there's a lot of fats coming in because every day you're eating. And not every day you're taking out. So that means they're accumulating. Okay, we all like nasi lemak, kari laksa, everything. So all is very, very fattening for Singaporean food and Malaysian food, Asian food. You know, what about your liver? Again, look at liver. The liver is where all the fats will surface and be there. When you do an ultra scan, you know, ultrasound, you see all the white spots. Those are the fat spots. Easily they can tell you. So let's imagine a healthy liver and a fatty liver, which can be turned into liver cirrhosis. That would be scary. Okay. Again, many of us after 40 could be having fatty liver without realization. You may not be, you can be a very thin lady or man, but you probably could also be having fatty liver even if you're not drinking. Because stress can make you have fatty liver. Even you don't drink, you may have fatty liver. We call it NASH. Non-alcoholic, but still have the fatty liver. Okay, so there's so many things you have to take care. Then what about the kidney? Kidney is another thing you have to take care. Okay, Because to the kidney, the Chinese will say, hey, kidney, you don't take care, the manpower is gone for the man. Actually, it's referring also to the adrenals. Okay. Now, the problem with the kidney is your kidney start to age at 50. 50 start to age. And come on, everything you eat means it has to be filtered by the liver. And the liver may pass the job to the kidney. And the liver is 75, it start to age, the strongest organ. That's why you can drink and smoke still to a certain extent. Okay, you cut 90% of the kidney, on the liver, it can still regenerate. Wonderful. But not all the parts of the organs can be regenerated. If you ask any conventional doctors, they will say, sorry, heart don't regenerate, kidney don't regenerate. Okay, so on our history, we published the first publication that the kidney can be regenerated 10 years ago. You can Google my name, you check it out there. First publication. A few months ago, Israeli scientists blown up to the world and say they can regenerate the kidney. Okay, if you can treat, as far as I'm concerned, when we talk about regenerative medicine, means you can regenerate organs. So everything, there's a solution you can regenerate as long as they are still dying tissue or living tissue. Living tissue means they are still healthy, but they are aged, just like an old printer. When an old printer, sometimes it don't print, sometimes it print, sometimes the ink won't come out. It's the same with us. We are just like a car. The only difference is we cannot change the engine or the parts. Whereas a car, we can still change a new part. Okay, we can do some overhaul, but on our case, we can't. We can only repair. We can't change. When you say change means we are transplantation, and it's a long wait for transplantation. When I was brought to Ansan Hospital a few months ago, it's the 5th largest hospital in the world. It's one of the top hospitals for organ transplantation. It's owned by Hyundai. It's called Ansan City. It's like a Hyundai city, like Toyota city. The whole hospital has 40,000 doctors and employees and other support staff. It's big and they're dealing with organ transplant. They don't have enough organs still. So I'm saying that the right way is to transplant the cells of the organs and not the organs. As long as they're living tissues, you can do still transplantation. So this is what we are talking about, okay? Now, coming back to the brain, if you are a drinker, after 60, your brain shrinks 30% faster. Number one, okay? Number two, your brain has 52 lobes and 67 different types of brain cells performing 67 different function minimum. 66 of your brain cells start to age at 20. 20, you know, come on, I haven't finished, but some of us haven't even finished university. 20, start to age already. True. But there was one special part of the brain which is important on the frontal side. We call it the frontal lobe, responsible for your IQ and focusing power and short-term memory, is only fully developed by the age of 25. Wow, that means, can I make my children more intelligent? Yes. Give the frontal lobe. Okay. If you have a child who is below 10 years old, to make him learn 10 different languages, possible. So try to make them learn early. They can adapt. They learn very fast. But you and I, after 40, reading a book 3 times, we can only remember 20% or less. Even 3 times. Okay? Because you don't have the memory power. Because after 40, every day, you lose 10,000 neurons. Brain cells. Wow, losing the brain cells is scary, man. Right? That means you sometimes cannot remember things. You left something, you forget. You do not know you left your key or something, you cannot recall. Okay? And sometimes you meet someone, you can think of his face, you know who he is in the face, but you cannot remember his name. This is quite common. Okay? So that means to say you need brain supplementation. Celeva is needed there because you need acetylcholine, which is a chemical which is for the prevention and for the brain health against dementia. Okay, it's part of aging. We call it neurodegenerative. Degenerative, not regenerative. D. Okay, DE. So that is scary. And I was telling you, your brain start to age at 20. 20, you know, 66 of them gone, aging. And the one frontal lobe is still okay there, just fully developed by 25. So take care of that. Your timeline for a brain is 60 to 70. When you look at a person, how you look at a person on my side, because treating Down syndrome or autistic children, the first thing we look at a person is to look at the brain of a person. How to look? We don't have an MRI all the time. Okay, we look at the face. When you talk to someone, the expression coming from that someone, that's our experience of treating Down syndrome and cerebral palsy in autistic children. The expression tells about your IQ of a person. If you can perform things still very fast, okay, and absorb things fast, that means you have good brain. So you have to do everything very fast. But there's two things you must do very slow. What do you think they are? Everything must be done fast. But two things you have to do very slow. One of them is eating. The other one is in the toilet lah. Okay. The third one could be making love lah. I don't know lah. Okay. So that is how I look at things. For me, I always say the two things lah. Okay. So please remember, your brain is very important. Wrinkles after 60, the brain shrinks so fast, you know. So you have to control a bit on drinking. Okay. Smoking, you have to control on your lungs and liver lah. Okay. And again, the brain itself, I say timeline 60 to 70. Hey, come on, Mrs. Lu is 80, I'm 62. That means our timeline is already reached lah, around there lah. But it doesn't mean that we can do a reversal. Okay? There is way to reverse the biological age of all the organs. That's the reason why we come up with the field bioregenerative medicine. We just released a handbook on anti-aging medicine. Handbook. That means every doctor will use it as a guide. It was released in November 2022 in Athens, in Cyprus, and it was wrote by 40 medical doctors and professors. I contribute to 2 chapters on the brain because the brain is my favorite topic. Okay, to me, I must have a very sharp brain, fast brain. I think it's very important. I believe the same for all of us here. Now, I'm one of the 2 co-editors. I spent 3.5 years to edit the book. Okay, that was a very good book. It was released to the world. And when it was released, it was sold out within the same month itself. The book was wrongly published for $500 US. It was all snapped up. Okay, although it was only sold for $200, we had to do the refund. Okay, and the doctor said, no need refund. Give me another 2 books. Okay, in exchange, paying 500 instead of 600, we did that, okay, because it's a good reference book. And the second book is coming on next year. So there's a lot of things we have to think of. Again, obesity. Everyone asks me, you know, Mike, you're eating so much, 5 to 7 times a day, eating non-stop. I eat non-stop, okay, because I have to work very hard. I'm working 16 to 18 hours a day. 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. is US time. We deal with 2,000 American doctors or more. Every month I told you I have to go to US because there's a lot of Parkinson and Alzheimer's patients where I have to treat. Okay, so I have to go to US all the time with my team of doctors. Okay, and again, obesity means if you can cut down on your weight, you are actually cutting down a lot of good things. I mean, bad things coming to you. They will not put pressure on your heart and other organs. So you must maintain a good weight to a certain extent, a shape. Okay, something, okay? And that is important. And it's difficult to cut eating sometimes. Okay, all the Musang King and everything coming. I myself also cannot stop. I also want Musang King. Okay, so one of my way is I take 3 capsules of Celeva myself. Maximum is 3. I cannot take more than 3 lah. Okay, so what I do is it can be before, during, or after a heavy meal. I will take 1. So anything I take, I will try to maintain the weight. Okay, because I want to bind the lipids from the food, not be returned and stored in the artery or in the liver. Okay, and it had to come out as from your stool or from your urine. Okay, if we were to do an infusion of it, it will be out immediately. You can see it very fast within a few hours. But with the capsules, yes, you can still do it that way. and has been working wonderfully well. That this is one of the top seller in Japan. One of the top seller in Japan. It's very popular in Japan. Also recently into China. Okay, so Celeva came in wonderfully well for Mrs. Lu and team Avita here because it was an improved formula and we do a lot of research to make it to the next level. Congratulations to you all having the sole exclusivity and proprietary rights to this. No one can have it for the next 13 years because it's patented. That means it's patented means no other company can sell it the same formula for your information. Okay, and I did told the team just now that Celeva can even be better than Celogen. We are the formulator of Celogen for your information. Celogens have almost 20 publications. Specific publication on the name Celogen. Please understand, if you are selling a supplements, normally supplements don't have publication. They just sell. If you look around most of the MLM company, they just sell a supplement and say it works. Is there any proof to say it's work? You must have medical or scientific proof. On my side, I will not believe anything or anyone telling me this product works. I don't. Because on my side, we'll be challenged all the time by scientists or doctors. So I must have some publication to support, and that's the reason we wrote the book Cell Membrane. Okay? So that if someone were to challenge, we say, read the book or read the publication. So it's the same with Celogen. You have all the publication. You have many publications for Celogen for your information. That explains why the phenomenal rise of Celogen across the world. It goes very fast for Avita. Celeva will be the same and even bigger. Because we are talking about your cardio health, your kidney health, your liver health, your brain health, and also the artery and vessels for you. And again, even for the milk for ED problems. Okay? So this is something where you need it for the rest of your life. It's a matter of how many you are taking. Do you need 3 or do you need 2 or do you need 1? Or do you need 1 every 2 days? It depends. You look at the health condition of you. Okay? So one of the advantage for the slimming part is it wasn't meant for slimming, but when you're taking fats from the body, in a way you're slimming, what? Isn't it? Your lesser fat means you're slimmer. So that's what we are telling you why it can be used for slimming. Now, Christy Chong, 53 years old, the Hong Kong Hollywood Christy Chong. Okay, she's a very good client of mine. Okay, every year she will celebrate my birthday. Recently, I was in Hong Kong. She flew down from Beijing and gave me a surprise birthday. Okay, on August 20th. I was born on August 21 because on 21 I have to leave, you see. So she flew down without me realizing. She's taking plaques for many years. She was quite plump. Christy is quite plump. She's 53. And that's one of the formula for success. She slimmed down a lot. Lei Leong Wai, also one of my good friend and best friend on Donnie Yen, is been taking plaques all the time. They are both my very good clients. They come for treatments all the time. Okay. And that's not the only one. There's so many of us. Okay. And even Christy's father and mother fly down from Canada to do the treatment in Malaysia or in Bangkok or my Vietnamese hospital. They're all very happy with the treatments we have. Because as you grow older, you put on more fats. And women have 2 times the fat cells of men. So if your boyfriend or husband is eating a plate of rice or meal, you better take half. Because you're 2 times. What is the difference between a thin man, thin woman, and a fat man and fat woman? In terms of number of fat cells, no difference. Same. But each fat cells can expand 5 times. So the variance of a man and woman can be 2 times 5, become 10 times. Okay, and women are born with more fat, unfortunately. Okay, for that reason, they must take care after 40. Metabolism goes slower, hormonal change comes in. So there's only 2 reasons you put on weight. Let me tell you, I had a lot of women who say, I don't eat also, I put on weight. Yes, it could be a hormonal problem or metabolic problem. So we have to look into that. That you need an endocrinologist. Now, the good thing about what I came this time to support Mrs. Lu and all of you here is we're going to answer all your technical questions. All your medical question and technical question, we will answer all of them. We will go with Malcolm and Wai Chen and good thing, put in a group, and we'll answer all of them for you and make it into a Bible for Avita. That will be for Celeva and Celeva. Because I think that is lacking here. You're wonderful people here, okay, but you need medical and technical support. So please make use of our medical team and scientific team to do all this. And that will make it clearer for you, because you must also be good with your product knowledge to convince people. If you cannot convince, no one will trust you. Okay, if you answer wrongly, people will not trust you. But to answer correctly, you must have some form of knowledge. There's a lot of videos on us for training. We are always there for you. You ask any questions. If it's too technical, which need an expert or a cardiologist or hepatologist, we will always have them for you. And I never believe in only going with one doctor. I always believe a team of 6 doctors and 1 medical director to sign you off being the number 7. So when we look into a file of a patient, we have 7 medical experts to look into and never just one. And I always believe in the work on a clinician. What do you mean by clinician? That means doctors with very years of experience in their field. This is how we work, okay? So I'm very positive with this support to Avita. Sales will soar to another level. That is important, okay? Now, complication of diabetes, a big problem. I went to this field at a very young, tender age. It's due to my father, who is a knowledgeable person, but he died of end-stage diabetes, suffering very much, you know, and also with a liver problem. He died at 55 years, just after his pension, you know? So I was telling myself, what's the point in life where you have to live and struggle and work and then you make some money and you die? And it happened again to another person, another father of mine, which is my father-in-law. I would say he treated me better than my own father. That means he's a wonderful man, okay? He treated me so well. But Michelle and I, when we came back from UK and Switzerland, back to Malaysia to get married, he told me he couldn't walk 10 km a day anymore. He was walking 10 km a day at 72 compared to a young man of me at 20 over. He looked much better than me in all aspects, whether by the V shape he has, by his height, or by his handsome look compared to me. So I look highly on him. And he do not eat outside. He never go and outside and eat. He carry water with him. That means he drink the filtered water. He's so conscious about his health. He walk 10 km a day, sleep at 8 o'clock and wake up at 4 and do walking. 10 km is a lot, you know. That means it's totally healthy. But this time I came back to get married. You know what he told me? I feel like I don't have energy. The first thing I look is his legs. I realized there's swelling in his leg. So to my belief, it could be a kidney problem. So I told him, you better go to the hospital and check. And true enough, it was end-stage kidney problem. End-stage, you know, without warning, okay? And imagine a healthy person like him, okay? And the suffering for that 1 year is not just you have something and you suffer and you die. It's over a long suffering, okay? My mother-in-law, who also treated me very well, he just passed away at the age of 95. Okay, due to a simple operation complication. He was totally healthy, still with good brains. Okay, she turned from dark hair to black hair within 1 week, totally white. The stress of taking care of a sick person in the hospital is worse than the sick person. Please remember that. So you cannot be a burden to your spouse or partner or your family members. So the first thing is must be very healthy and health conscious. Number 1. Neither do you want to be a burden to your children, isn't it? Okay, today's is a different world. We don't expect Asian culture in the past. I brought you up, you must take care of me when old. Today it won't work that way. Today, our responsibility as a person is only to bring you up. Okay? The rest we don't know. You have to take the rest, you make sure you take care of your children. We are more than happy. We will know how to take care of ourselves. So for that reason, you must be a doctor for yourself. So I will always say the best doctor for you is you yourself. You must have some knowledge about your own health. Today, with technology, everything can be accessed on the internet. But again, in the internet, there's also a lot of scam information trying to sell something to you. So you must also do some verification. So coming back to this, I always say that the lesson I learned from my father-in-law and my father, which made Michelle and I went back to Switzerland and spent the next 30 years. I spent more time in Europe than in Asia. For your information, I only spent 1/4 of my life in Asia. In Asia means also include my house, okay, in Malaysia. All the time I'm traveling. For the last 39 years, I'm traveling without jet lag. Just travel from Athens. Before that, every trip is a single world trip. Single world trip means you keep changing the ticket, up and down. Either you go up this way or you come up this way. It's single. That means we lose a lot of tickets also. Okay, sometimes you cannot change. But the important thing is I never have jet lag. So I brought along 2 of my PAs of 15 years. Okay, they are younger than me, but they got called off along the way. Okay, when they reach the destination, sometimes the head also fall on the table. They're so tired. Okay, and then they will see me on stage standing and speaking and answering to all the questions. Because when you go to US, the audience can be 2,000 doctors. There's some big events which have a lot. We are going to RevFest. That is on September 7 to 9. 2,000 over physicians and scientists. Okay, so that is a big event where every year I'm there for stem cells. So there's a lot of things I enjoy. I still love what I'm doing very much. And all this will be a complication of diabetes. And 1 out of 4 of us after 40 probably is having diabetes without realizing it. Without realizing it, because not all of us will always go for a pathological or full blood test. Sometimes we don't even do it. But I would say if you're moving 35 and onwards, you must do once a year. Okay, when you're 50, I would say you do it every 9 months, not 1 year. Okay, when you're 60, you better do it 2 times a year. Because it's to know earlier is better to know later. To know earlier, you probably cut down a lot of costs. Okay, we can't avoid all the disease. 1 out of 4 after 40 may be diabetes. 1 out of 4 or 2 out of 4 could be having fatty liver. Again, 1 out of 4 could be some other thing. There's so many 1 out of 4. Even with cancer after 60, it could be 1 out of 4 or 2 out of 5 in USA. So can you avoid all this and totally not be in the hospital sometime in your life? No. All of us will have a date in the hospital, but don't spend too many times there and cut the duration. That's all. That's all. Okay. I have a mother who is 92 years old. When each time I look at Mrs. Lu, that is also my mother. Okay. My mother will dress like her. She posts in the camera more than any one of us. Okay. I told you I have 3 boys. Okay. She posts more and I make her work very hard. She have to do marketing to 2 family because she stays separately from me. I don't want to put the mother with my wife. Woman is not easy to handle. Okay, better separate them. That's a lesson I learned as a grandchild. Okay, with my mother, with my grandmother. So I learned a painful lesson. Don't put them together. Okay, let them meet once a week. Good enough. Holiday, okay, let them go. Okay, so my mother had to do shopping, and with my mother-in-law in another house, I have to take care of 3 houses. In my house, I have 15 dogs living inside the house. 15 poodles. Okay, inside the house, not outside the house. They have an outside house, but they don't want to stay in the outside house with aircon. They still want to come in. Okay, and they'll be roaming all over the house. And recently, 1 gave birth to another 6. So it's 21. So I'm looking for people to give the dogs away. I cannot handle too many. And I'm always the meat lady for the dogs. I will remove the placenta from them. Okay. So coming back to my mother-in-law at that time, okay, she just passed away. She has 7 big dogs. Okay. And my mom living in the house. Can you imagine to take care of 3 bungalow house? It wasn't easy, Wasn't easy at all. But that is life. Life is always full of challenge. Okay, I never use the word stress. I don't complain. I just go along. I always look at the positive side and never be a negative person. I don't believe in negatives. Okay, I do not like to stay with people who are negative. That means there are people who give you all the bad vibes. You must have positive vibe around you. Avita have all the vibes here. Okay, it's good. Okay, yeah. Okay. Now, these are all the complications. Coming back to diabetes, please remember the end stage of all diabetic patients is a kidney transplant. End stage. But along the way, you can have retinopathy, you can have some other thing coming in, leg could be amputated. This is only part of it. The end stage is a kidney transplant. End stage for a heart problem is also a kidney transplant. You're going to take statin for the rest of your life. My point is, why must I take the statin? Is it going to cure my diseases? No. It was only to treat for that day. Just like a diabetic drug, only for that day. Tomorrow you have to take again. Again, for your heart problem, hypertension, only for that day. Tomorrow you don't take, your doctor will say you don't take for the next few days, you may have a run a risk of stroke. So you are taking for the rest of your life. Is there a cure? No cure. Then what's the point of taking then? Okay, so you must think of a solution. So I will always say, find solution. This is where we can think of some solution, and Celeva is one of the good solutions here. Okay, it can perform to a certain extent the same function by clearing the fatty deposit from your artery. Okay, so that is what we are thinking of solution, and I call it biological medicine. It comes from the German and the Swiss. Biological medicine is not taught in conventional school here. Okay, so when we introduce biological medicine to Asia, medical doctors, we have trained 80,000 doctors for that matter, 80,000 medical doctors across the world. No one knows about biological medicine. In Germany, we call it common sense medicine. We look into the root of the person and treat the root and not just give the symptoms. It's no point to treat the symptoms. Just like you're having a sleeping disorder, you need sleeping pills. Okay, tomorrow you take again. Tomorrow, the next tomorrow you take again. You're going to take for the rest of your life. You're going to put a toll on your liver and kidney. Anything your body don't need, it will be a burden to your kidney and your liver. Please remember that. Taking all the supplements in the world or all the drugs in the world doesn't mean you'll be healthy, you know. Please understand. The physician on that day is to solve the problem on that day. The physician on that day is not going to tell you, oh, in 10 years' time, you have this problem. All we want is to solve your problem now. Don't tell me 10 years now. All we want is to solve problem, you live now. You probably, if you don't live now, you don't even think of the 10 years. That is what you're being told. Okay, but on our side, we are trying to find a solution with the German way and Swiss way of treating a biological common sense. You have to find a solution. So if you cannot sleep, it could be due to the release of melatonin from your pineal gland. I'm just giving you an example of how you treat, okay? So when the pineal gland, as you age, the pineal gland don't release the melatonin, which is biologically released between 8 to 10 o'clock at night. If you were playing with the phone all the time or watching TV all the time or with a light shining on your scalp, your brain thought it's daytime. So no release of melatonin. So you have to understand that part. Okay, it's different. Don't think of taking the melatonin from the supplements. It will work everything like the way the pineal gland is releasing. No, it's totally different. Always remember what is from your body is better than what is externally given to your body. I would say exogenous hormones will not work the same as endogenous hormone. Endo means inside. So that is how we look and treating a person. Okay. Now, this is the timeline. Timeline, you know, that means from there onwards, the chart go down. So this is a basic timeline for you, and it's important for you to know. Okay, timeline. So how are we going to live to 120 years old? Can. Still can. Just like iPhone, Huawei, or Samsung phone, you are changing your phone all the time. Why are you changing the phone? You are changing the phone because of new technology, new memory, new storage, longer battery life, better pixel for your picture, all that. Same. I will always change my phone. And I told my phone guy, any change in the phone, reserve it for me and I will buy. Because we have to keep track. We have to follow the trend. If some medical doctors will tell me, Mike, I know everything about medicine. You don't have to tell me. I studied so many years. No. Today, none of us is a master of everything. Every day there's something new in nutrition. Every day there's something new in science. Every day there's something new in medicine. So we learn every day and learn from everyone and share the information. That is important. So Avita has a big family here. You all have to share. The Bible to be created will be good for everyone. Your job is to not just to make out of the money of selling a product. Your job is to deliver the responsibility of giving healthier life to everyone among you and to yourself. That is what I believe. Heal and enrich life. Okay. Now, what's wrong with this? Okay. Now, this is another chart. We should tell you specifically when it starts to age. If you look at the chart, scary, lungs 20, brain scary, skin around 25, muscle 30. Muscle, that means you're losing your muscle at 30. Okay? Now, the reason why men lose muscle is because the hormones, testosterone, fell down. Then the muscle go to the tummy, the bigger tummy. Okay, it's the other way around. Okay, again, fertility of men and women is 35. And fertility of women start to go down at 30. So you must have a baby as young as possible. Lah. But today with new technology, a lot of women don't want to get married until later part because of career. Okay, some don't even want marriage. Okay, so again, there's a lot of new things coming up in science that you can still have a baby in your later life. You do some storage of the ovaries. There's a lot of new things coming in. Okay. Now, look at this chart. Everything is going so young. 40, 50, 30. I'm so getting scary. How to live to 120. Even I live to 100 years, maybe I don't have teeth. You look at your teeth, you already know how old you are. What? Isn't it? You're losing teeth all the time. The gums is getting shaky. The teeth is getting shaky, the gums is going down, receding, and then your teeth become longer all of a sudden and more gaps, and more holes around your teeth, So this is something already telling you you're aging. So there's still a lot of solution for this, believe me. Celeva did provide all these solutions. Celeva contains all the hundreds of vitamins and minerals for a better health. It provides everything there. That is the reason why Celeva was created, and with the publication, many publications, I would say around 20 of them. Some of you may not realize it, there are 20 of them. Okay. Now again, with all these things, you have to understand, even with Cliff Richard were to sing, the voice is slightly different. Or Rod Stewart were to sing, because the voice also start to change at 65. Okay. So everything have a timeline. I only have to say that. But we can do a reversal. Reversal with the right type of stem cells, which can be a further lesson in future with you. Okay. The right stem cells, you have 737 types of stem cells. Just to let you know, don't believe in only one type or two types. You must throw a dart at the dartboard and hit it bullseye, and that's what I call precision in medicine. If you need an eye cells, I'll give you a stem cell of eye. You need a brain cell, I'll give you a brain cells of a brain. I will not give you other cells. I will look into that. But as you age, you need a lot of different types of cells. Every organ is aging. Now, again with Celeva, it's 100% made in Switzerland. Everything is made in Switzerland for your information. Okay? On my side, I only believe in skincare and supplements made in Switzerland. Because my years spending in Switzerland since the 80s tell me a lesson which is wonderfully well and worked wonderfully well for our company, a Swiss company. It started as a Swiss company. I told you $2,500 to be a multi-million company today. Okay? Everything is because it's Swiss. Just like you buy a Rolex. 30 years ago or 40 years, you buy a Rolex. Today, the price is 3-4 times higher. Same design. Okay, I remember my wife brought me a Rolex 3 years after the business where we become millionaire. Millionaire 3 years after the business is something in the 80s. She brought me my first Rolex. Today I have 4 Rolex, but I never wear any one of them. I say old man watch. But I'm surprised my son won the Rolex. Okay, he said that is value Rolex. And the office girl wear a man Rolex. Hey, that means the value is there, you know. Okay, you buy other watches, no value one. Okay, but the Rolex is that value. So when I have the Rolex, the first thing I look at is the tag. The tag. There was a Rolex tag, isn't it? The nice tag, made in Switzerland. And that gave me an idea that we must have this tag, and that's where you have it in Celeva, too, or in Cellogen. Proudly made in Switzerland, it sells. The Swiss are good with chocolate banking, but also good with quality. Okay, that is good. In Switzerland, you cannot make a false claim. Even with supplements, you go to jail. Parking ticket don't pay, you go to jail. It's a police state to me. Anything involve police. Okay, everyone is so afraid of police. Okay, same in Germany to a certain extent. Now, these are something we have. This is something very unique. We didn't declare the whole formula. We call it complex because there are 3 ingredients there in different composition. We have to protect the formula one. Although it's patented and declared out, you still have to protect. Okay, so that makes Celeva unique for the next 13 years before your competitors come in. Okay, and by the 13 year or 14 years, someone came in, you already moved to another level. You will have something different and upgraded. We must upgrade the formula every now and then. We cannot having the same formula just like a car. Today, you look at the car, they're all different shape. Look at the shoe. Adidas came with a shoe at the back, some design, and later on all the other follows. Even Nike have to follow. You see that? Okay, someone has to be the first to initiate. And if you're the first to initiate, means you are taking a big chunk of the market. I just want to give you a simple example. I went to Bangladesh. My clinic in Bangladesh is 40,000 square feet. Everyone asked me, are you crazy? Bangladesh is the poorest country in the world. And you set up a 40,000 high-end clinic there. You know? So it's huge. In Thailand, we only have 10,000 square feet. Bangladesh, 40,000. But you will never realize in every country, it's a new country. Everything is new. You're the first to start. You will make the money first. Same for you. Your job is to penetrate the whole parts of the world and not only limited to Singapore or only certain part of the world. It's your right to penetrate. It depends on capability. Today, with social media and internet, you can go everywhere. Because there is no, it's a borderless world in internet marketing. So it depends on how you sell. Of course, to certain guideline lah, okay, that you don't harm others lah, okay, and we have to do it very professional. Now, it's the only one and only Swiss produced patented formula here. Of this formula, there's no other brand. We may be formulas of many other similar formulation, but nothing like Celeva here. Same for Cellogen. It's the one and only. Okay, because we cannot have 2 similar formula, same formula, no same, similar possible, but again we select. Okay, we don't simply come up with a brand. So what is so special here? There are 3 very special ingredients here, you know, and these are the 3. We come up with different formulations. We didn't tell about the composition. That is important. If we tell you the composition, we are finished. Okay, there's a lot of people coming in. I have been receiving a lot of inquiries coming even from Singapore saying that I want to do a formulation of Celeva. They write to our Swiss office. We can't do that. Professionally, it is exclusively given to Avita. We must honor the agreement as gentlemen. I value the relationship with my business partner, Mrs. Lu here, very much. Okay, that is important. We all must have honorability and integrity in life. I always believe in that. Okay. Now, why you need the tocopherol? That means the vitamin E. You need that because it will be blending and making it synergize in a better way. That is one of the way to do it because we need biochemists to go all this. So we have biochemists. We are not just formulating of something we want to formula. It must be proven and it takes years to do a formula. It wasn't just come out all of a sudden. Now, the good part about this product is that it anti-plaques means it will remove the fat. That means with the vessels, the blocked vessels we clear off. Now, blocked vessels means your vessel is like a water hose. When you start eating fatty food, it becomes smaller because it go around the vessel. So that means it's like a water hose. The water cannot pass through so much. What will happen? What is in the water here is the blood. The blood is carrying the oxygen, the fresh oxygen to your organs, and also the brain. The brain is the most important organ. It will snatch the oxygen first from your body, 20% minimum. Okay, when you don't have enough oxygen to your brain cells will die faster. The same for your other organs. Okay, so here we must take away the fats. All these fats are important. We have to clear all the fats. The fats are too much fats is not good for your body. Okay, then we talk about nootropic. That means for the brain. Again, this is very important. Come on, all of us will be a candidate for dementia, you know. All, not one less. Okay, that is important. So you must have a good brain as you age. You must have a sharp brain as you age. You must never retire. What I'm trying to tell you. If you are thinking, I'm 60, I'm going to retire, feel happy, let me tell you, age faster. You'll go down much faster. Don't retire. That means you'll stay with Avita for the rest of your life. Okay? And pass it to your children and your family members to continue your legacy. Okay? On my side, I'm going to stay with Mrs. Wu for the rest of her life. Okay? I'm not sure about you, but I'm going to do that for my children. Okay? And my children. So we must do that. Okay? Now, what we have to do here is you have to understand. Okay? The ingredients here is so unique that we already have a publication. There's a publication that you can make use. I didn't mention the product name there. So you can make use of that. In the later part, we are going to work in Avita with all of you here. You start collecting data. Okay? When you start collecting data, some good results, we're going to collect it. We need our PhD people and our medical team to do the publication. And I will get MIT and Heidelberg Museum and the Japanese to come in and come out with a good publication for Avita. That is something I have to do with you. I'm very happy to do that. Okay. Of course, the data must be genuine, not make up data. We can't do that. We'll be audited. Okay. We'll be scrutinized and verified. Okay. So the good part here is that the other thing I want to tell you, everyone will say, oh, PPC elasticity also have. Yes, I know. You can also buy a lot from China. Okay. China is almost everything in the world. Okay. But the quality is different. I remember I buy a freezer from Sanyo. I use it for 15 years, ultra freezer, -152C, to store my cells. Then I buy from Germany, which I've been buying all along. Germany will cost me 25,000 euro before the COVID. And Japan will cost me 15,000 euro or US. Okay. China, 2,000. Wow, so attractive. 25,000 can buy 10 and still have 5,000 balance. Okay, why not? Right? So I try getting a few from China. The China one, after 1 year, gone off already. Okay, sometimes it works, sometimes it won't work. And it will kill away all my cells. I cannot take risks anymore. Okay, so I put back all aside. I only insist on German for the freezer. Germans are very precise with technology. The best printing machine is still German. You look at Siemens with all the medical devices. German. They are really good with all devices. So devices, I will always say German for technology. Supplements and skincare, I can tell you any skincare in the world, if it's made in Switzerland, it sells better. Okay? If it's not made in Switzerland, it won't sell much. Even made in Germany won't sell. Made in USA also don't sell so well than the made in Swiss. So there is a reason for everything. Supplements, believe me, must be made in Switzerland. Made in any parts of the world, cannot. You know very well. You have been in Avita. What sells the most? Cellogen. Because it's Swiss made. Proudly Swiss made. And it's your baby. It was created for you and done by you. It's totally for you. There's no one having Cellogen. For that matters. If someone say they have a Cellogen formula or what, then it must be a copycat brand and it could be a fake brand. Be careful. There's many fakes. Okay, and then we have to control the fake. We have some ways to control. Now, shortage of this ingredient PPC. Our PPC is over 90%. Remember that. That is important. The purity is important. Okay. Otherwise, you don't need a Lamborghini. You can buy another sport car. Okay. Why you still pay so much for a Lamborghini? Maybe you modify a Tata and go faster than a Lamborghini, but it will never happen. That is a reason for certain quality. You pay for the quality, okay? We don't compromise on the quality in Switzerland. So these are some of the results that if you have a shortage of PPC in your body, which you will have over time, these are some of the problems you will always face, okay? And we have to do the prevention here, because if you don't do the prevention, it will come. Now, prevention is something to extend life. But extending life is not good enough. You must have quality life to longevity. That means what I'm trying to tell you is let's add quality life to your years and not just years to your life. I hope you understand the statement. Okay, no point to extend long life, but lying in bed. That means no quality life. Quality life means no pain. And don't carry the walking stick or tongkat. Okay, that is not good life. Okay, so you must be fit. To be fit means you must have healthy organs, or even with your knees. That means you must have good cartilage and bone. That is where Celogen come in again. Okay, we've been doing a lot for the cartilage and bone. Okay, so that is some good formula in the part of Celogen to complement everything, apart from being a super multivite. But Celogen alone is not enough. Celogen don't do detox. To do the detox, you need Celeva. Celeva is a detox. It will bind the fat, and along the way, some heavy metal will be released. So it is important to take away something your body don't need. Anything you eat now, it must be out within 14 hours. So if you're having constipation, please make sure you cut on coffee. You know, coffee can create constipation. 1 cup a day is good. Okay, maximum 2 lah. Okay, you want more, I cannot say lah. Because constipation means all the materials need to be detoxed are still in the body. That won't be healthy for your colon. Please understand, I was telling you that your mortality is from your thymus gland, which is producing a T cell after 65 is gone. There's no production of T cells or immune cells after 65. And stem cell is only 5% after 60. That's the reason why you're heading towards mortality. Okay? For that reason, you must make sure you have to be healthy. And you must do prevention. Prevention is always better than cure. Cure means you're going to incur a lot of money. Healthcare costs in Singapore is crazily high. I would say that. Everything you go to the hospital is money. Everything is money. Okay, so we try not to cut. We try to cut on the healthcare costs to a certain extent. And this is a PPC is an essential ingredient for regenerative of your cell membrane. The surface of your cell, the membrane of your cell. You are making up of 37.2 trillion of cells. For your rest of your life, you probably need Celogen. You want to live quality life longer, you don't want to run into problems, you probably need Celogen too. I mean Celeva, apart from Celogen. Combine them two together. They blend with each other very well. That means they're husband and wife to a certain extent. Now, just look at the good cholesterol and the bad cholesterol. Everyone is so concerned about cholesterol, of course. Okay? Cholesterol is going to give you a lot of problems. So the purpose of Celeva is to bring down certain things, the LDL, and bring up the HDL, which is important. And you have to bring down the triglycerides. You have to. We do not want all this. Okay. Now, this PowerPoint should be given to all the members. Okay. Okay. So you don't have to suffer so much. But let me tell you, through my experience as an educator, if you write something while learning, the memory encapsulate it faster. Okay. If you read something and you read and then you will forget. Okay. That's why some of us like to write. Okay. So I believe in that very much. I read a lot of books. If I have to write a book on diabetes, I will read 400 books by 400 authors because I learn from everyone. We must learn. We have to learn from everyone. I will always say, what is so good about this doctor? What is so good about this scientist? And the good one we learn, the bad one we don't want to keep in. Okay, so my idol in life as a very poor child in life was Bruce Lee. I can't even afford a movie of Bruce Lee as a child. Okay, I only afford to see Bruce Lee movie when I was 13 years old. You can imagine my humble beginning as a child. When it rains, my house is filled with water. I told someone today that the jamban, okay, is outside the house. So imagine the kampong house or the village house I'm staying. It's very kampong. I'm a kampong boy who managed luckily to make it, okay? And God was very kind to me all along the way. So I remember my humble beginning, and I come to realize the most important thing is health, because I see everyone suffering so much. There's no meaning in life if you don't have good health, because you're going to spend all your money you make. Please understand, the money you accumulate, the millions you accumulate, if someone has a cancer, you probably spend all the money and you won't go into borrowings because no one wants to die. And that person will entail the rest of the other members to come out with money. That is life. That is how I see life. Life is a struggle. You don't want that struggle, you better make sure you're healthy. And this is what Avita is doing with education. Education is important. So again, with all this, okay, we have to reduce the risk. Heart attack, all this stroke it can happen to any one of us. I have a PA of mine, I told you, Andrew, okay, he's Andrew, his name, okay, he's from Singapore. He joined me when he was 19 years old. He's 33 and he's hospitalized for 2 months for hypertension, 32. Now he's 33 and he can't continue to work for me because he was hospitalized for 2 times. Because of the high amount of working stress. You work, you have stress. Everyone has stress, even as a businessman. Okay, so that bring up the blood pressure. Okay, and you cannot stop. And of course, being a yuppie, you drink and smoke. That add on to more. Okay, I have to relieve him, to make sure he rests for the next 1-2 years before he come back or not come back, because I have to think of his health. Okay, so that's how I think health is important. Again, when we talk about this, now I also told you about the water hose. This is a healthy artery. This is an unhealthy, it start to fill up. When you start to eat, it start to fill up, the yellowish part, and then it block. So when it block means the oxygen carried by the blood is lesser, number one. Without oxygen, your brain cells will die and all the cells will die. After 40, I told you, you will lose 10,000 brain cells a day. A day, not a month or a year, a day. So your memory is going down very fast. There's a solution, don't worry. I can still make you sharper. Okay, but Celeva is one of the good solutions too, as prevention and to delay the progression of your brain health. Okay, so here we must clear up. The build-up will block the artery. There's a risk of stroke and other things. So for that reason, we must clear this up. We must clear. You have to take plugs. In this case, that means Celeva. Okay, the super plugs. I would say that you need that. Again, coming up to consumption. Some of you ask me, hey, take 1 good or take 2 good or take 3 good. I say maximum is 3 ma. I myself is taking 3 ma. Okay. I don't want to build on weight. My weight is 65. I know. I maintain at 65 to 66. That's all. No matter how much I eat, it's still there. Balance up. I just string down my PA. My PA is 88 kilo. Her name is Karen. Some of you been to my office before will see she's so big size. I call her MMA. I have 400 staff in my office in KK. MMA means she look like a fighter, like she walk also like that. I say you're my chief PA, I have 4 PAs. Everyone to make a coming to me, I had to pass through you. And we are in the field of anti-aging. We must be what we look and present. So I say you cannot go that. So I give her this formula, a similar formula at that time. Celeva was not born yet. It was during COVID. She went down from 88 kilo. Today, her weight is 55 kilo. And unfortunately, she don't want to show her picture, but she can show you. Okay, show you right in front can. One day you will meet her lah. Okay, she's Singaporean. She's half Singaporean. She stays in Singapore, but she works in Malaysia. Okay, so there is a way. And if you are talking if she will exercise or not, where you got time to exercise? Follow me up and down one. No time to exercise. We work 16 to 18 hours a day. I will never spend one extra day in any country. Saturday and Sunday is my time to be home, family day, and I value family life very much. So I may always rush back on a Saturday afternoon just to have a dinner with my family. So that means to say I'm rushing across every country. When I say 10 to 14 days, I already missed 1 week. So I had to replace back the other 2 lost days with my family for another 2 days. Okay. So again, all this is coming in. Again, you have to take care of your kidney. Again, you have to take care of brain and health. So the good part about Celeva is clearing up all the vessels across your body. So it works wonderfully well in that sense. Okay. Now, once you have blockage of artery, it will affect all the organs. I only have to say that. Okay. And to reverse, you can think of formation of plaques. You have all the drugs there. So like I say, I don't want to treat the symptoms. I want to find the root of the symptoms and solve it. And that is the way to go. Okay. Now, is there any side effect of Celeva? No. It's 100% made from the plant. The buds of the soy plant. The buds itself. The buds acts like an embryo of an animal before the flower is out. That is where you gather the good thing about it. And this is what we have been doing in Switzerland. We do the extraction. So that was a very good formula. And this is what we use to reduce. And since it's plant-based, it's more acceptable. Okay, most of us like plant-based. After COVID, a lot of people are more careful with herbal remedy. But again, please understand, I will not endorse, neither will I believe in anything, like I say, without publication. You cannot sell anything without support. Please remember that. And also, if you're to buy anything, it must be authenticated and supported. Otherwise, snake oil also will come in and it will sell well. Cannot. So that is why we insist on doing the publication or to write a book. We will do a book for Cellogen and we will do a book for Celeva. That is our future plan. We will do that. A medical publication in UK. We will do that. Okay. That I will work with Mrs. Lula. Okay. Now again, I've explained all this, basically your heart is important. You have a poor heart, it will also affect the brain. You have a poor brain, it affects the heart. And again, I also mentioned that you need to understand your gut health is also important. Okay, because when you come to vessel, you go to all your organs, your gut is your second brain. So sometimes if you don't have a good gut, or when you're angry, you're hungry, you become angry, Did you realize that your mood changes when you're angry? Because it affects the brain. So everything's work with Celeva to provide the passage to all the organs. You have 78 organs with 12 systems. System is like a traffic jam. There's an accident, it will have a jam all over the place. So make sure everything clears. It goes through the whole body. So these are some of the things which will be wonderfully well to solve the heart problem to an certain extent. Again, I say no cure. No cure. You cannot claim it as a cure. We cannot sell this as a medicine. Otherwise, HSA will come up to you. Okay? HSA will always come when you say cure. But if I use the word enhance or may improve, then you're very safe. We must always answer all questions professionally and safe for us so that we will not be whole to be responsible for certain things. I always believe in that. I always use the word may or generally or through my experience Because there's no guarantee in medicine. Neither is there any guarantee in life. Don't just talk about medicine. There's no guarantee. We do not know tomorrow. Anything can happen to all of us. Anything. Okay? God decide everything. Now, again, with the liver, this one worked very well for the liver because I spent a lot of time on research on the liver. We did have a publication, okay, in Malaysian General Hospital on this. We did something in the Malaysian hospital, but it's a form of infusion. We should work much faster. Okay, we did. I will send a publication to Waichen. Okay, so there's a lot of things we can do for liver because liver hold a very special place in my heart because my father died of complications with diabetes and the liver. I have 6 uncles, 5 of them died of liver cancer. My father had only 1 brother, also liver problem. Wow, oh, very scary, man. I'm the son in between. You know, my mother, 6 uncles, 5 and 1, the last one is hepatitis B. Okay, so that means it's high risk for me to be infected with liver problems, you know, or be with liver problems. So I took care of my liver very well. Although I work 16 to 18 hours a day, I don't sleep a lot. I have my own way. And that's also a reason why I take Celeva 3 on my side, because I'm a very strenuous workload here. I would say strenuous, but I would not say it's stress. I use the word challenge. Okay. So kidney health is important because to the Chinese, you know, they always say sun bang or whatever. Show manpower all gone one, which is to a certain extent is true. Okay. So kidney is important. It's 50 years old only. So your kidney and pancreas, be careful. Pancreas is also 50 years old. So that's why you have to be careful of getting diabetes. Okay, reducing weight is one of the good ways to keep yourself healthy to a lot of extent. Okay, so of course, along with all this, there are other solutions to treat. Okay, that will be in the field of stem cells, which we are one of the pioneers. I am the first guy to introduce stem cells to Asia, not even Southeast Asia. When I first went to China or I went to Japan or Korea, no one really started the stem cell there yet. I was trained by the Soviet Union. That means the Russian and the Ukrainian. Today they're fighting among themselves. Today we still have a professor in Moscow University. I have 8 Ukrainians and 2 Russian doctors in Asia working full-time for me. They are all scientists and medical doctors or professors. They still work as a team, apart from our other European. They are all trained in Switzerland and Germany because I sent them back to Germany and Switzerland for 1 year to be fully trained. Okay, so Celeva is wonderful. There's so many things we can think of here. Okay, so that means it works toward the well-being. Brain, very, very important. Top, brain, very important. I always say you're as young as my brain. Yes. So better make sure you have a good brain. Good brain means fast. Everything is fast. Absorption is fast. Memory is good. If you need more information on brain and make it to the super fast, you can tell me. I will do it. I will tell you what to do because I specialize in treating Parkinson and Alzheimer's patients. And I specialize in treating autistic children and Down syndrome children. We have done thousands of Down syndrome children. No one believes what we are doing. And remember, I say you have 67 different types of brain cells. We look into your brain problem and give you the brain cells, the specific brain cells. So, Parkinson, I'm so worried about Parkinson because we've been treating so much. If you Google my name, you also see a lot of testimonial of Parkinson coming from different parts of the world, including American or even from Australia. Okay, I treat the CID chief of Malaysia for Parkinson with the right stem cell. We went to all over the world for stem cell. He didn't have a good result. But I treated him 1 time, he see the good results. So there's a lot of things we've been doing by giving the right cells. Okay, so overall, this is what is improving. Do you have anything to lose here? No, except some small amount of money. Okay, but if you put the money in a good use, it's a form of insurance. Because you are going to spend money on healthcare at the end of the day. So better make sure you're healthy and not be a burden. I always use the word not be a burden because I don't want my other people to suffer. I took care of my father and father-in-law. I realized it shouldn't happen to my children to take care of me. I do not want that to happen. It's unfair to them too. They will have their own family, isn't it? Their job is to take care of their side. So it's your job to be knowledgeable on your side. And here we are having all the support for you. The medical and technical support will come from us. That should push you to the next level. That means to say we'll answer all your questions within 48 hours. As long as Wai Chen or Malcolm send the inquiries to us, we'll answer it within 48 hours. 48 hours. Okay. Of course, if public holiday or Sunday and Saturday sometimes allow the time. It's not working day. Sometimes the time frame. Okay. But we try to answer very fast. I answers at least 300 inquiries a day. All kinds of patients, all kinds of inquiries from doctors to patients. That's what we are doing all the time. Now, the long-term secondary effect. This is again important. When we say your brain string is like the leaves in a tree. When the leaf, when young is growing up, more leaves is coming, it becomes thicker. As it goes later part, all the leaves are dropping. So you come to realize the trees will have the root and the branches, but no leaves. It's the same situation here. There'll be gapping in the brain. Okay, that means this is what is happening for Alzheimer's and Parkinson patient. So our job again on the gut side. On the gut side, we want a stronger lungs and gut, and this is what is going to protect the epithelial layer of the organs. So imagine it's going to help on all your organs. What do you have to lose? But again, like I say, don't treat it like medicine, If someone have a lung cancer, you don't tell him you will help him. Okay? Or liver cancer, you say you will help, take this. No, I don't believe in that. Then it's the next level. Okay? Prevention, yes. Post-cancer, out of cancer, yes. During cancer, be careful. Because if the patient you sell to a cancer patient and he run into a problem, the family will come after you and say he took the medication and he died because of you. So we have to be careful. And I always say, I must have the blood test. We must have the blood test report of last 3 months because that is showing the condition of your health. Anything after 3 months means it can be changing, and outdated. And also a simple medical questionnaire which Wai Chen and Malcolm has it already. Okay, so if someone were to show me something, the first thing I say is, please give me your blood test report. Because you have to look into all things, Because the patient you sell to, or the client you sell to, or your friend you sell to, and you say, I take this one, now I have heart problem, a heart attack, I have all this coming in. Be careful. Okay, and then HSA is alerted, then there's more problem. So we have to be careful. We look into everything. If they have a problem, you're not very sure, please come to us, we do the support. Ask them certain questions. Today, someone asked me about his problem on the heart, and when he say autoimmune, then I know what to do already. Autoimmune means there's no cure in the world. But autoimmune means it's going to be erratic. But there are other solutions for autoimmune, which I also explained, and we have done 10 publications. Cancer is autoimmune. Diabetes type 1 is autoimmune. Psoriasis is autoimmune. Eczema is autoimmune. Multiple sclerosis, rheumatoid arthritis, all these are autoimmune. There's no cure in the conventional. There's so many things which is no cure. But are there solutions? Yes, they are. Okay, so that's what we are doing. Now, again, this is a small thing, but it may happen. Like I say, our job is to improve all organs. It doesn't matter which organs. As long as you have a clear passage, you don't create blockage or creating a traffic jam, you can solve a lot of things here. The risk. So let's look at the visceral fat of a woman. This is where the fats are for a woman. They put on weight, okay? Now, again, I also like to inform all of us here. After 40, there's a hormonal change in your body. All men and women will lose 1 to 2% of the hormones in the body. So if I'm a female with a lot of female hormones, I do have some male hormones here. When I age, the female hormones drop, the male hormones are still there. What happened? You have a disproportionate percentage of the female to the male. It drops. What happened to the female? She become tougher like a man. She will bang table. Okay? She will, because she's stronger now. Okay? Now, what happened to the other side, the men? They have a lot of testosterone, putting the muscle, and men are meant to be aggressive. But as they drop, the female hormones is there, the men become more feminine. You realize he have a feminine shape. Okay? And he start losing hair. Look at the hairs of Asian men, 50. Hair seems to be missing. Okay? And look at the mustache of your grandmother. He starts to have mustache. Okay? So there are some hormonal change here. So that means to say, again, when I say that we are slimming come in is because it also creates a different accumulation of fat. You have more fat after 40. Okay, so these are the proportion of the fat. Of course, in medicine or with the aesthetic world, we can target the area. Okay, but on the supplementation side, even if you to do aesthetic or liposuction or whether liposuction is meant to do sculpturing, it wasn't meant to be for slimming, for your information. Don't ever think to go for liposuction, take away the fat don't come back, still come back. Just for your information. For sculpturing to improve certain shape, yes, it will work well. So the right way is that you need something to take away the visceral fat here, which is a very stubborn fat. Don't ever think going to a slimming center will do that. You will not do that. Okay. And the subcutaneous fat, which is on the upper layer, that is easier to do it. So our job is to take away both the fats as much as we can. You need time. It's not taking 1 or 2 months overall become super slim. No. If someone were to tell me I can slim 5 kilo a week, within 1 month I slim 20 kilo, I tell you there's a yo-yo effect. It will come back all the time. If someone will tell me I'm going to go on fasting, okay, dieting, you know, wow, intermittent fasting. Hey, not everyone can do that, you know. Some will have gastric problem, you know. You have to look into your level, you know. The right way to slim is to lose only 1 to 2 kilo a week and nothing more. You can do that. And Celeva will provide you some good solution. If you can do some mild exercise doesn't mean you have to run or vigorous. Sometimes walking, brisk walking is good enough. Okay? Or even when you're working, it's still exercise. Okay? So you must have some movements. Because if you don't have movements, your cartilage will also be gone. Okay? You have to exercise because it's like I told you, an old printer. Old printer means the ink is there, but the ink don't come out. You press a computer, but it won't operate. So this is something you must work all your organs. So Celeva is a good solution because it's going to do clearance. Okay? Detox in some way and do the clearance, which is important. Now, of course, this is something you can do. Okay? And together with Celogens, when you cut down on you cut down on food, you will run out of nutrients too. Please understand, when you cut down on certain things, you don't want to eat this, you don't eat that. Hey, you think everyone can be a vegan? Not easy. They will have certain shortage of proteins. This is the reason why you need a super supplements to make sure you have everything to cover. You know, we may not have everything to cover. So if you ask me, my way of looking at general wellness plus your organ health, the organ health will come from Celeva. Okay, general wellness will come from Celogen. Okay, you need both. You have to compromise. You have a husband, but you don't have the mother, cannot. A son or a daughter must have husband and wife. For your information, it cannot be a single parent because a mother will never replace a father, neither will a father replace a mother. I came from a single family. I know that very well. Okay, from 6 years old onwards, I only have a mother to take care of me and my sister. So I feel the loss of a father. Okay, so that is important now. It's because my father had 2 families. Okay, he was still around, but he had 2 families. Okay, that was the reason. Now, so that means you must have both. Taking both will be effective in maintaining and extending quality health to your life. Because one, we talk about the organ health. The other one, we talk about the general wellness. General wellness is important, okay? Because you don't have enough nutrients as you age. Now, diabetes type 2 is very scary. I have this problem with patients all the time, okay? And when you start to realize your wound is not healing as much as it can, that means you're part of aging already, okay? Or you have to check if you're a diabetic, okay? When you keep on having wound healing, I have a Singaporean friend here. He's younger than me. He's amputated with a leg. He's no longer here, okay? You know what happened? A mosquito bite on the leg. That's all. And after that, he went on to the next stage, and after that, he's amputated, and then he passed away. A mosquito bite, such a simple thing. It may happen to all of us, okay? So it's difficult, and one of the way is to take care of your health, okay? So this is a big problem for most of us. Now, psoriasis, through my experience, autoimmune, but you'll be surprised. If you take care of the liver, it helps. That's what we did. You know, we work with dermatologists. We have dermatologists in my team. Okay. I have my own experience of my first son being an asthmatic child. So we have the worst eczema I have never seen in my life. His skin is white color like a Chinese boy, yellow lah. But he's as dark as an Indian man. After 14, a small patch of a 5-cent coin on the head expanded to everywhere, and he started to scratch everything. Every day I have to change the bed sheet, and I've changed 6 maids and pay them 3 times the price, also they don't want to work. When he leave the bed, he'll be snoring around the air with the aircon, the flags. I went through and engaged all the specialists, the dermatologists of the world to treat my own first son. Nothing worked. I also learned now a solution. Everyone say, Mike, I dare not even show my son to everyone. And he himself cover everything, wearing a dark sunglasses, cover every part of his skin, you know, as if it's like a movie. I know what you did last summer, the killer. Okay. And the school allowed that. He have changed 3-4 schools, the school all allow it. Because the school also don't want his face to be shown. And each time the school will kick him out, saying that he didn't attend certain lessons and create 2 activities at the same time. So my painful experience being an authority in stem cells, I cannot cure this autoimmune problem. And in the later part, I remember what my master taught me, and I remember the movie Lorenzo Oil, starting Susan Sheridan. Okay, the parents are not doctors. They went on to find a cure for the son. And that's what I did for my own son. I spent 2 years suffering with that. And I cannot realize how he can go through that life. Scratching with fingernails. He must have fingernails. The bed sheet is blood. He's bloodied, you know. And I treated him well. Today, he looks normal. When he come to office, everyone was looking at him. Is it the same person? He don't even have eyebrow in the old days. That is a story I want to tell you of my own son. Okay. That is a very painful story to tell. When I put cream on his back, the aqueous cream, moisture, because it's very dry, it cuts my palm. That means my palm bleed. Imagine how bad it is. Asthmatic child. Okay, after asthma, you have this, is common. After asthma, you may have eczema. Okay, it was the worst eczema I ever treated. Today, I've been treating a lot. And then next come a husky dog, totally white. Husky is white, ma. My younger son never asked me anything in his life. One day he said, Papa, I want the husky dog. The mother said, no, that one will be environmental problem. It's true, because the dog is furry and Malaysia is a hot weather. But my son said something, Papa, you don't buy for me, I will be very sad for the rest of your life. Wow, that word come to me, hurt me so much. You know why it hurt me so much? He never asked me for birthday gift before. Chinese New Year, my 2 sons, my 2 younger sons, never say buy anything for Chinese New Year. Hey, our tradition must buy Chinese New Year thing, new clothing. You say no need, I wear cocoa one. Okay. So that hurts me so much. I couldn't sleep. The next morning, I go and buy the dog. Okay. My wife said, you buy the dog, you will suffer. True enough. 1 month later, the dog start to scratch. Hot weather. Okay. Just a simple scratch and some bleeding. Eventually, the dog is in and out of hospital for more than a year on statins all the time. White dog lose all the hair, become red dog, blooded dog. I went to see the dog cannot even wag its tail. Can you imagine how bad it is? Okay, the dog cannot even wag the tail. You call the dog also, is smelly. And the vet was telling me I have to put him to sleep. I said, no, you can't kill an animal. Because remember, I'm a staunch Buddhist. I'm against killing, okay, to a certain extent. Eventually, I thought of the same solution for my son. And today, I treat a lot of dogs with eczema problem or skin problem, skin disease. It's also autoimmune, okay? So that's the solution of my story there. I've done 10 publications for human and 8 publications for dogs. The 8 publication is done in US now, okay? So this is another big problem. Man, ED problem. When we are young, we're high testosterone, okay, we are very active. But again, as we old, the Chinese sometimes say, 有心冇力, which is true, you know, okay? Men will think of lesser sex as they age to a certain extent. Testosterone is going down. But the bigger problem is this. Even they want to have sex, they cannot have a steep erection. Because the supply of blood is smaller now. Because of the blocked artery, the supply of blood is smaller. It cannot go to the penis. So this is where erection problem will come in. Dysfunction, we call it ED. So when we clear the artery, it will be good for the men. So this is much needed. And all diabetic persons will have ED problem too. Okay. So this is one of the good reasons why this is working well. Of course, we can add some other things to make it even stronger. Okay. So these are some of the things we have, you know, where we do in our clinic is published in our book, you know, of diabetic patients or people with ulcer. We've been doing this for so many all the time. You know, these are all true pictures. It's been ongoing, okay? Except that we give a stronger formulation. That's all. It works, okay? Manufacturing, 100% made in Switzerland, okay? I do not believe in anything not made in Switzerland, for that matters. That's the reason why I spent 30 over years in Switzerland and Germany. Our office is in Switzerland and Germany. Formulation is in Switzerland and Germany. We own manufacturing, biopharma manufacturing. That means we can even manufacture vaccines in Germany for 40 years. We own labs in Switzerland, lab in Germany, lab in Turkey, lab in UK, lab in USA. Even in Malaysia, we have a research lab, but we don't do manufacturing. All manufacturing, Switzerland and Germany. Okay. So I'm open to all the Q&A if you want, you know. Anything else, side effect before that? Huh? What are the side effects? Maybe some discomfort or diarrhea because you're releasing the fats out. So it's like a diarrhea, you're taking it out. Just like you take vitamin C too much, you will have diarrhea, isn't it? It's the same situation. But you're releasing something oily out. What's wrong? It's good. You should feel good. You feel lighter and better. Okay, that is important. So, of course, some examination we needed. If we were to go, we have some problems, we'll go further down. A blood test report is important. We should cover everything you have here. Because if you look at the profile, we look at your profile, we know what is the health of your organ, which is covered by a pathological or blood test report. So this is some of the good things you can think of. Okay. These are some of the things which we have for Celeva. The name Celeva came from Mrs. Lu, wasn't from me. The name Celagen came from me, but Celeva was her idea. Before I came up with the name, she said, call Celeva. So I just follow. Okay, we check with the Swiss side and get it patent trademark, and then we follow Celeva, which is a good name to, and the design are all with designed by Mrs. Lu's son, Malcolm and team. Proud. Okay, imagine a Swiss, okay, with a Singapore brain. It's important. Asians are wonderful people, hardworking people. There's a lot of talented people around. Okay. Now, pattern is a worldwide pattern for your information. We have all the patterns in the world. When we cover Europe, we cover 85 countries. We have to patent them because today's world is a very different world. If you look at Indonesia, BMW want to use the name BMW cannot use, because someone go and patent BMW name. So can you imagine you want to sell BMW into Indonesia, the name cannot be BMW. Oh, it's terrible. So BMW had to negotiate with the guy who do the patent, the trademark. So trademark is important to protect, and we must protect. Okay, it's the same scenario I face in different kinds of the world. There was one time an Indonesian guy, my own dealer, came to me and said, happily he fly down and meet me. He said, oh, your patent expire one day. I filed in already. Now I want to be your partner. I do not mind being his partner, but the way he come to me like a threat, I cannot accept it. We all must have principle in life. So I'd rather not have the $1 billion business like this. I rather not, because the principle is wrong in life. Okay, so I value principle very much. Now, these are all wonderful things. We have all the ISO for safety and quality control. They are all with Switzerland. Of course, we have the GMP certificate, obviously. Okay, so GMP is important. Do not believe everyone telling you they have a GMP. GMP certified and GMP compliance is two different things. When I say I manufacture according to GMP standard, that is not GMP certified. But you may thought it's GMP. Just because the word GMP is mentioned, I manufacture according in compliance with GMP. Sorry, that is not GMP certified. I want GMP certified. That is important. So this is what we have. And that is important. To get a GMP certification in Switzerland is very difficult. Same for Germany. These are the two countries which are very tight with GMP. So you have everything here, okay? And all you need is more technical support. We are always there for you, okay? And I do have a strong team here to support technically. Business, I'm not a professional in that way to do the marketing or whatever. That I have nothing, okay? But in terms of technical, medical, and clinical support or anything, we can support very well. So that is our job, okay? So any questions here? Yes.
Yes. So now we open for Q&A. And okay, let me ask the first question from the Zoom. Okay, can Celeva be given to cancer patients, post-organ transplant patients, and pregnant or breastfeeding ladies?
Okay, cancer, be very careful. I'm very careful with cancers. I own a German hospital in Germany. It's called German Medical Center, where I own 50%. I've also been treating cancer patients every day. In Switzerland, we have a hospital, we treat all the cancer patients. Okay, in Asia, we treat cancer patients, but we have to be very careful, okay? Because sometimes the blame will come back to you. Because the family members will agree to everything. But if the guy died or the woman died, the cancer patient died, they will come back to you for everything. So we have to be very careful. So we have to look at the situation here. Celeva basically will not have any harm on cancer patient. In fact, it will also facilitate the cancer patient. Okay, it's for organ health. Nothing wrong with that. It's not going to stimulate. Anything which stimulate cancer, we have to be careful. So if someone will ask me, Mike, your authority in stem cell, there are many doctors who use stem cell to treat cancer patients. My answer is no. Cancer is an overstimulation of cells. You go and stimulate them further. That means the cell multiply faster. And again, I'm telling every doctor, you are talking about cancer cells. There are also cancer stem cells, which is even stronger. Stem cell is the queen bees and cells is the bees. Of course, the queen bee is stronger. So don't mess with cancer in a different way. It must have our medical team to look into that. And we must give you the best advice we can. Okay? Breastfeeding mother, nothing wrong. Go ahead. Good. Okay? Breastfeeding mother is fine. Again, a mother who has given birth, and the baby which is out from the mother, the first 6 months, they have the strongest immune system. Even you cough in front of the baby will not infected. Again, it's the same of the mother because she was accumulating a lot of nutrients. She was eating a lot. She's adding everything, folic acid, everything is down there. So you have enough storage for a good immune health. Okay, baby very strong. Don't worry at all. Okay, the first 6 months. But again, the mother sometimes had to slim down. You see, to slim down after the confinement 2 months is the high time to slim down because it was expanded sideways and front, every way. There's a lot of loose skin. So if someone asks me, because I have aesthetic doctors, I do have plastic surgeon in my hospital for breast reconstruction. We do a lot of breast cancer. So we have a lot of breast reconstruction. Okay. I do not believe in plastic surgery, but we use a plastic surgeon to do the breast reconstruction is a different way. There's a lot of loose skin. You have to tighten the skin before delivery. There's a way to do that. But after delivery, within the 2 months confinement, you have to move into fine tuning of the body. Otherwise, your waist will never come back like original. No, it's not easy because everything was expanded. You don't expect a rubber band pulling it out all the time and then you come back to original. So woman has been doing a lot of wonderful things. Each time she bear a child, she aged a lot. Unfortunately, I have to say that. I'm very transparent. Okay, so after 2 months, fine tuning is important. If you meet my wife one day, I will say my wife has a better shape than a lot of ladies in their 20s. She's 62. Serious, I'm not joking. Okay, I'm not joking because she knows how to maintain very well. And there's no stretch mark. There's no C-section cut. It was on the same cut, but no marks. So that means the maintenance is good. All this can be done. Of course, on our side, we also do a lot of stretch mark for ladies, or C-section marks. We do that now, okay, with our aesthetic doctors. Now, the next one.
Post-organ transplant patients.
Organ transplant, depends what organ. But overall, no problem. Okay? Overall, no problem. Except kidney patient, be careful. When someone has kidney, you have to be very careful. When you have low eGFR, that means filtration rate. We look at the GFR. Your GFR is your 90, the level, normal person. When you go below 90, it's going down, you have to be careful, You cannot simply give him everything and say it will help the kidney. Let me tell you, nothing will help the kidney for a kidney patient. Nothing. Except kidney stem cells. Kidney means you have to give the kidney cells and the epithelial cells. Even water may not help him. You also have to filter. So we have to be careful at the stage. So especially giving a lot of medication, it will harm him, Okay, we had to be careful. But you give the kidney is okay. Because in our stem cell research, you must have the same molecules, you must have the same amino acid, you must have the same proteins. You have 737 cells from 78 organs, all have different molecules and amino acid. That is how we look. So that's the reason why a lot of doctors doing stem cell don't get results. Because they give the wrong stem cells. They give a stem cell and say it will regenerate into all kinds of cells. Not true. The cells don't regenerate into all kinds of cells. The cell only regenerates to the targeted cells of their type. So I have an eye problem. I need the retina cells. I need the optic nerve. I need the occipital lobe. I must give this type of stem cell. I give you mesenchymal cell, optic. Expect it to do that? No. You cannot use an A to treat A to Z. And A is only for A, B is only for B. So this is something you must learn in stem cells, which even the doctor cannot learn, don't understand very much. You ask any doctors, how many brain cells are there in the brain? How many cells are there in the pancreas? How many cells are there in the liver? I can tell you most of them cannot answer you. Okay? How many cells are there overall? You have 737 different types of cells. 722 are organ cells, for organs. And 8 are tissue cells for tissue repair. Cartilage are tissue. Okay, so that is how we go. Next.
Okay, because Professor Mike, you're talking about kidney. There's this Hody. She's a big, the person is a big fan of Celeva. I mean, Hody is taking, very helpful, but he wanted to introduce to the dad. but the dad is currently in kidney dialysis in coming 6 years and needed to control his water intake and facing difficulties to go to toilet. So can his dad take Celeva, and will it help in?
Now, overall, Celeva, since it's doing dialysis, the good part is dialysis means you will detox. It can be, depends on the frequency, 2 times a week or 3 times a week. Okay. So since it's already dialysis, okay, he will clean up. So we still have to control a number of supplements, not all supplements. I do not believe in Americans who put 60 to 100 supplements pop into the mouth and say 1 meal a day. I've seen a lot of people in this field. Okay, they say, doesn't matter, this for this, this or this or this. No, everything the kidney have to work. Okay, so select some good supplements and that's it. No all supplements. So if I'm a kidney patient, I'm on dialysis, I would say Celeva is still good because I have to take care of my other organs. It's not only the kidney, you know. The kidney damage could be also due to other organs malfunctioning, which cause the kidney problem. Like I say, end stage of diabetes or also heart problem can cause kidney problem. Okay. So again, the next question you will ask, hey, what about Celeva can take or not? Huh? Celeva overall has all the nutrients and all the vitamins. And of course, kidney patient have to control on diet for the rest of his life. So the supplement with Celeva and Celeva is wonderful, but don't add too many other supplements. I don't encourage that. The way to solve him, I've treated a medical doctor who is 68 years old, look like 88, 8 months on dialysis. 8 months are 3 times a year, 3 times a week. If you Google on the internet of Dr. Michael McGuinness, he was on the world news. You will see what he said, come from his own testimony as a medical doctor. He tried all the stem cells in the world, it doesn't work. But when I treated him, I had no confidence to treat him either. But I give him some kidney peptides and the heart peptides because he suffered a stroke in the heart attack in the plane. And then he came out, a stroke. And then he came up from the plane trying to save his life. The 2 kidneys are damaged. He can't even talk at 68. I say 68 look like 88. Today is my partner in Ecuador. We have a clinic in Ecuador together. That means he become alive again. Okay. Yeah. He climbed up the mountain in Slovakia. So that is because he improved so much. We did a reversal. Stage 5 to stage 3, unbelievable. No one will believe what I'm doing. Okay. And today is in stage 2.
Wow.
Okay. That is on YouTube. We have maybe 500 viewers on that. 500,000. Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, to further, so for kidney dialysis patient, how should they take Celeva and Celeva?
Now, again,
is there any recommendation?
Okay, it depends on his diet. Okay. Is he a big eater still, or he's controlling his diet well? If you see he's controlling his diet well, I will encourage still once a day. Okay. But if he's taking too much and not controlling very well, then I rather take once every 2 days. I don't want to overtoll the kidney, but the other organs are also deteriorating, you know. So patient like this who come to us, we have to decide. He could be a diabetic patient who is also having Parkinson and could be 85 years old or 70 years old. He's also all the organs are also going off. So it wasn't just to treat the kidney, you have to treat all the organs. This will require stem cells. You cannot just rely on supplements. Supplements are meant to supplements and complement. Supplements are never meant to cure. Always remember that. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Mike.
Please call me Mike.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
My question is, I have a friend, young girl, who is suffering from intractable epilepsy. How can Celeva or Celeva helps her?
I do not think Celeva will help her much. Okay, I think that way. But my experience of treating epilepsy, because we do a lot, epilepsy is another level. You don't know where is the frequency of the electrical shock in the brain. Okay, so through my experience, we have done a lot on epilepsy. Okay, everything is still a test and see level. So there's nothing wrong to give Celeva or Celeva and see. Nothing wrong. But if you don't work, then you stop. No. But will it harm him? No. The important thing in medicine is first do no harm. Primum non se in Latin. We cannot harm everyone. Then we think of safety. There, that is already safety. And then we think of the potency. Okay. So if you try 1 or 2 months, or maximum 3 months, it doesn't help, then it shouldn't be helping. But in another way, it could be helping in terms of nutrients. Okay. As long as you don't trigger the epilepsy, the frequency. Through my experience, it will not trigger. My experience of treating epilepsy, one of our oldest patients is a 30-year-old Japanese student. Okay. We went through a lot of experience with treating people of different disorder. That include depression or bipolar. Okay. Today's world, a lot of it, the COVID, there's a lot of people with depression, Okay. Businessmen and even students. You'll be surprised a lot of students are in their early 30s, early 20s, they're bipolar and depression, a lot. Okay. Yes.
Okay, we have a audience. Very shy, but he wanted to ask because Dr. Mike actually mentioned you take 3 Celeva a day.
Yes.
So for people who also want to take more than one, how should they take? Should it be 3 capsules in one go?
Never.
Okay.
Never 3 in one go, then you immediately go toilet. Okay. Diarrhea. Okay. It wasn't meant to be. And why must I have 3 at one time? Please remember, just like vitamin C. Vitamin C you have to take every day. Okay. So you are thinking, I take one time for 1 week. No, only for that day. You have diarrhea. Tomorrow you need again. So it's the same for Celeva. If you are taking rice, okay, you're taking a lot of meat, okay, fatty food, fried food. Oh, you must take. For sure, you must take. I tell you first, Hokkien mee, all that chao kway teow, you must take already. Nasi lemak, some more curry laksa.
So it's before or after meal?
You can take before, during, or after. No problem. As long as it's close by. Because the food is there to be digested, you now have to bind it and take it out from your stool. Okay, you go and take 3 hours, it's already moving into digestion, Again, you take 7 hours, no point already. So if you want to take, if I want to slim down for a while, I can take 3, but after that, I decided to cut down to 2 again. Then I decide to cut to 1 can. Okay, so it depends on the way how you maintain. For me, it's difficult for me. I'm in Europe, it's hot summer. Every day I have 2 ice cream or 3 ice cream a day, So hot, In Greece, it was very hot, and I went to Santorini, so it wasn't very hot for me. I cannot stand the heatiness also. One day I have to shower 3 times, okay? And wash the hair 3 times also. So ice cream come to me, but I'm also conscious about adding 1 extra kilo. To me, I don't want the extra kilo. My level is always 65 and 66. Wow. And I keep to that for many years, okay? Yeah. So you want to slim for a while, you still have to take more, and then you cut down. Again, slimming, remember what I say. Don't drastically cut all the food and then, okay, first 5 kilo easy. After that, not easy anymore. Okay, I just want to tell you. Go on a moderate scale. 2 kilos for the first 2 weeks is wonderful, not more. In fact, 1 kilo is good. Okay, you cannot slim sharply down then you go sharply up fast. You must slim moderately. And I have done a lot of slimming. Of course, we have medical equipment in our clinic. If that lady say, I want to remove this, I can do it very specifically. That is medical treatment with devices. No invasive. I don't believe in surgery. I just want to tell you, I have plastic surgeon, but wasn't for aesthetic use.
Okay,
yes.
Thank you, Mike. One last question for the audience. Anybody has question? Okay.
Hi, Mike. This has been an absolutely enlightening talk. Just wondering whether autism is something that that can be treated with Celeva or Celagen.
Now, if you ask me your honest opinion, okay, I've been treating a lot of autistic children. I told you I have special feelings for autistic children. I wrote 2 medical textbooks on autism. You Google my name, you can see the book, okay? And I also do a peer review journal in UK on autism. In the old days, our hospital treat Robert De Niro, one of the children on autism in Switzerland. I treated many on autism for that matter. I say thousands. So if you talk about autism, it's a brain disorder. We have to face it, whether you call it ADHD or autism, there are many spectrum. None of the autistic children have the same spectrum. Okay, so while you are, some of the children are so young, can be as young as 3 years old. I also treated autistic ladies and men at 28 years old from USA. They improve. Now, 28 years old, it could be a guy who is very big size where the parents will run away because they can turn violent. Okay, so we have done very difficult cases. It works very well. Parents are happy. If you ask me, okay, the right treatment is still stem cells of the different parts of the brain. It depends which part and looking at the condition of the child. Okay, so it could be the frontal lobe, the hippocampus, because autistic children don't focus one. You talk to him, he don't look into your eye. There's no eye contact. And he has a world of his own. He cannot mix around with people. It's a social problem. But he could be a genius. And we call them autistic children for genius Sawan. Isaac Newton, Beethoven, Mozart, Albert Einstein. They're all autistic children, you know, and they are genius, you know. And surprisingly, all born in the month of August. Surprisingly, I'm also born in the month of August. Okay. Now, surprisingly, but again, if you ask me, okay, if Celeva, which is good for the brain health, helps, and because it also helps the gut, autistic children, some of them have gut problem, and a lot of them have heavy metals. So some form of removal may be good. Yes, no harm. The word is no harm. Okay, supplements like collagen to help, no harm, because it's not meant to harm. Okay, but if you want to talk about the real solution, you take this, but he needs the stem cells of the brain. That is no other solution. I want to say a very honest opinion. I always want to be very honest. I want to be very clear on the expectation so that, you know, I don't want people to be over expecting of certain things. So I rather be very honest and say it right on the point. Okay, if the autistic children, my experience is 28 years old, we have treated thousands of them. I treated 600 Down syndrome children and 600 autistic children in Malaysia. My title given by the King of Dato Sri together with my wife is because of my contribution to Malaysia treating these children. Okay, that was our title given by the King. I don't pay money. I have 30 front covers in the world. 30 front covers, I pay in front covers of the world, including in China, Foreign Trade Magazine, found in 146 countries by the Chinese government with a Chinese logo. That means government. That is important. You appear in a front cover, but it's commercial one, then it's no point. You pay money to get something, it's no point. I would not believe in that. So we come from the Chinese government because I'm registered by the Chinese government in stem cells and have been training Chinese scientists and doctors on stem cell research. I'm registered there. You can Google my name in Chinese. It's called Chen Ge Chen. Okay, Ge is, I don't know Chinese. Ge is called Mingdang or what they say. Chen Gap Sing. That is my name. You can Google. So coming back to you, the autistic children had to be treated. It had to be injection of brain cells on the buttock. It's non-painful. I can finish it off in 5 minutes. Non-invasive. Okay, there's no other solution, to be honest with you. Supplements helps along the way all the time. So nothing wrong with that. One a day is good for a child. Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor
Thank you.
Dr. Mike Chan.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you
I
for
hope you are happy with what I'm with today. Okay, and it's not only for tonight. Please understand, I'm always reachable. I always say my job is to enrich and heal life. I'm not doing everything for money. I don't believe that having a lot of money means making you a very happy person. I believe in accumulating good karma for my later life, and also for my family. That means for my loved ones. That is important. All of us must do something good. And Celeva is what, and Celeva is what, and with Avita is doing to enrich life. So you have a business where you are helping people and helping yourself and helping your family and everyone around you. Why not? So we are blessed to be in this healthcare business where we're helping everyone. You know, it's never just to push a sales and sell you buy. No, I don't believe in that. If it's going to help you and bring happiness to you and help you, oh, that's good. Because we also want you to be healthy. So we circulate the good karma in this way. Okay. There's a lot of things I treat the children. I lose a lot of money treating children. Because you treat the patient halfway and he never have the money to pay you, are you not going to treat him or you just let him go? So along the way, when you treat the patient, we lose a lot of money. So that is my life. But I think it's a good thing I've done in life. You know, I like to continue doing that. Thank you.